The following program is rated D for dumb.
So much I can smell my own breath. My baby left me, my best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the brooding kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, she left with everything I own except this lawn chair and my stereo. Guess I'm lucky that she's gone. But when I hear that engine start, it's like a tourniquet around my heart. I'll take the 101 to the 405. Drive, how sweet it makes me feel to have one hand on the stick, the other on the steering wheel. I'm going for a drive to ease my troubled mind. Just gonna leave it all behind. Yeah, I'm going for a drive. Keep it slim. See ya. Guess I'll keep on going from town to town. One day perhaps I'll settle down, but till then you won't see me around. Just gonna let the wind blow back my hair. Destination, I don't care. From now on I won't be working 9 to 5. Yeah, drive, how sweet it makes me feel to have one hand on the stick, the other on the steering wheel. I'm going for a drive to ease my troubled mind. Just gonna leave it all behind. I'm going for a drive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon. I am your pragmatic podcaster. And that was Hal in Philly. Hal in Philly. Hal Aaron, A-A-R-O-N. Hal, H-A-L. Hal Aaron, Hal in Philly, who I met at Podcast Movement 2019 down in Orlando, Florida. One of the benefits of networking at one of these conferences, at one of these shows, is, trade shows, tech shows, all that type of stuff, is you get to meet fascinating people. And the way I met Hal By the way, thank you. That is Going for a Drive. If you didn't figure out the title, that is Going for a Drive, written by Hal. And there's several musicians on that. And I will try to get that list to you as soon as possible. Hal is the host of Tales of the Road Warriors. And he does a show where he interviews musicians. He talks to musicians and musicians who are on the road. And, like I said, Tales of the Road Warriors. He likes people to be directed to the Himalaya podcast platform. The only problem with that now, because I'm a pragmatic, so I have to say this, 99.9% out of 100 people don't have Himalaya. So Hal, I'm sure, will be satisfied if you listen to his show any other way possible, whether it be Apple Podcasts or anywhere he's listed. You'll have to Google it, and then it'll come up in the Google, Hal Aaron or Hal in Philly or Tales of the Road Warriors. So check him out. He's a nice guy. He wrote a really fun song there. I smoke so much I could smell my own breath. That's a lot of smoking. It's a lot of smoking. And the rest of the words are pretty funny. And although it's not a comedy song, it's a good song. Thank you very much. It's a great song. I'm always very respectful and appreciative of people who can compose, whether it's Hal and a song or Linda and a story from Awesome Insanity Surfers, who provided the AI voice you heard at the beginning. So thank you, Linda, very much. So Hal and I met by the way, there's a bonus episode. Bing, wang. Bonus episode. It's a bonus episode, yes. Because I'm going home. It's a Friday. I usually don't go home on Fridays, but I'm going home on Fridays because it's my wife's birthday, and I want to see if I can catch her before she goes to work. If not, that's fine. I sent her a text. She might respond to my text in the middle of the show because I couldn't not text her. I guess I could have. I could have not texted her. I could have went home, and if I missed her, I would have surprised her when she came home, which may or may not be a good thing. You know how those things go. Or I could have texted her, which I did, to let her know I'm on my way home, and maybe I'll catch her, but I have a feeling she's going to be leaving. She likes to leave early. She's very good. This is her first year with the new job, so she wants to leave early. I think she'd leave earlier anyway to beat the train, because we have a train you have to be careful of, that freight, that Conrail or whatever they call it. Am I the only one that calls it Conrail? CSX, you gotta be careful. Plus the school buses, all that goes. Well, actually, she's earlier than the school buses, so whatever. She likes to be early. She likes to settle in. Probably eat something and go to the bathroom like me. It's like, I gotta protect myself. I don't want to poop my pants. All right. So anyway, one of the things about Hal, I just want to mention how I met Hal. Now, everybody has a how I met Hal story, right? Don't you have a how I met so-and-so story? Well, you know how you post things on the internet? And some people say to me, Dave, why do you do that? Why do you post this picture or that picture? Why do you? And I engage. I always say that. I said that in the last episode. I always engage. I try to, at least. Sometimes I don't feel it. Sometimes I'm just not really into engaging. But in this particular case, my roommate and I, Jason Juliet from the Jason Juliet podcast, we stopped at the CVS. Actually, it was right across the street from the hotel, but I think we might have stopped there. I don't know. And we bought ourselves a case of beer. And we put it in the refrigerator at the room, at the Midpoint Center, I think it is, that we stayed at. Rosen, Mr. Rosen, who owns like 14 hotels. Anyway, whatever hotel we stayed at, they had an empty refrigerator. It worked. And we went and filled it with beer. Now, truth be told, if it was just me solo, I never would have done that. I might have bought a six-pack, but I probably would have waited until I wanted it. Jason was very clear. We're going to stock that right now. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to the pool. We're not doing nothing. We're checking in, bang, getting a case of beer. Okay. All right, he's very clear. I like that. Very assertive. So, actually, I don't even know if that's the way it went down, but I know he wanted a case of beer. Because, whatever, it might last us a week, I think it was a sentence that was said. Might last us a week. Case of beer. Anyway, 5 days, 2 beers apiece at night. That's 4. 4 times 5 is 20. and then we have an extra. We might have an extra day's worth of beer, or if somebody comes to visit, you can be nice hosts and give our guests a beer. Anyway, I posted a picture because we stacked it with the champagne of beers, Miller High Life, and we stocked the refrigerator, and I faced them up. I think it's called facing. When I was in the soda business, I think we called it facing. And I made it really nice. All the labels were facing forward. They were all like standing there like beer soldiers. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful, and I took a picture of it. I should post it on Facebook, right? If I get around to it, if I still have it, I don't even know if I still have it. I didn't delete it. It's not like it's, one of those Kodak, matted shots. It could be one of my envelopes from all the trips I've taken, all the pictures I've taken. It's somewhere. I might have already posted it. I don't even remember. But anyway, it's a picture of the refrigerator, empty, and then right side by side with it, it was right next to it, and I posted on Facebook, was a picture of the refrigerator loaded with Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. And Hal saw it he didn't know who I was. But Hal has a story that goes with this, because he had a situation where he was coming in from Philly, not driving. He flew, but he had a situation about getting beer. And he has to tell the story himself. And he tells it on his podcast, how difficult it was to get beer when he arrived in Orlando. But we had some, somehow. I don't remember all the details. So when he saw the picture, I think he saw it like a day later or something. I forget what he said. He said, "Oh, I wish I saw this before because I was jonesing for a beer." And of course, we would say, "Hey, listen, man, I don't know who you are, but you're a podcaster, so you must be cool because you're one of us." And I would have said, "Yeah, come on down." And then we would have had a glorious night because he's a great guy. And he does this podcast called Tales of the Road Warriors, and we would have just talked we would have had pod talk all night long. We would have had pod beer, pod talk, and then he would have taken his pod butt home, and that would have been the end of that. So, and we would have had fun. So anyway, that's how I got to know Hal. And I think he might have retweeted it or reposted it, and it actually got some play. My shot, I actually did very well social media-wise at Podcast Movement 2019. That is not the point of the show. That is not what this show is about. And let me see. Do I have? Oh, jeez. Good to be ready with the.
Dave.
Yes.
Dear,
Yes.
This is Emma.
Hi, Emma.
This is not the show you wanted to do.
No, you're right. Oh, I love Emma. So, wasn't there a movie about this where a guy was like really into Siri or something like that? That was Phoenix River, right? Whatever his name was, Phoenix, Arizona River, whatever his name is. So now she just sounds very like clear. Like Emma's strong. I like Emma. Out of all the AI women, she's my favorite. I think I've made that very clear. I guess I should have gotten two gifts today. One for my wife, one for Emma. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you helping out. No, that's not the show I wanted to do, but I did want to mention Hal because, as per our agreement, which we don't, I would just do it, which is something I say all the time. I would just do it. I don't need somebody to tell me to do it. I would just do it. But I might be sneezing. Have I sneezed before on the show? Oh, I feel a tickle. I might be sneezing, folks, just to give you a heads up. I guess I should hit the pause button when I'm ready to do it, but I'm live, so we'll just do it. Anyway, so thank you, Hal. I would just do it. I would just, as per agreement, I would promote him. Of course, I'm going to promote him anyway. Hal and Philly. I promoted him last week without a song. Hal and Philly, Tales of the Road Warriors. He's got, I don't know how many shows he's got up. I think he's got a website too. He's got a bunch of stuff happening. He also has a very interesting personal life, which I won't share with you. I'll let him, if I ever interview him, I'll let him share his details. But I like rock and roll. He's rock and roll. I like podcasting. He's podcasting. He's rock and roll podcasting. And that was a great song. And it's not exactly country, right? It's not exactly novelty. It's not exactly rock and roll. It's just a song. And I think if somebody more famous would sing it, it would be a hit. I think so. But I happen to have this curse. And I hope I didn't affect Linda and Awesome Insanity Surfers in a bad way. But I have a life of relationships with really good artists. So when I say artists, I mean, creative people. All my life. And they're all respected in their field. All of them. They're all successful in a way, successful in their own right. Some are professional, yet none of them break out and become nationally or internationally or in any way famous. Does that make sense? And I kind of feel like sometimes I wonder if it's me. Like, am I the curse? Like, oh, if I had not... I know that's ridiculous, right? That's not remotely true. But... And it's not like if I'm not friends with them, all of a sudden they go into stardom. But I could go through a whole list of people or groups or whatever, musicians, comedians, artists, all different types of people, that while I know them, they just sort of middle. You know what I'm saying? Middle. Now, in the case of the Good Rats, still, by the way,
Dave.
Yes.
Dear,
Yes.
This is Emma. This is not the show you wanted to do.
No, you're right. It's totally not. I have it queued up, Emma, I swear. But, hey, this is a bonus show. So you're getting a bonus. I'm not supposed to be doing this show. I'm supposed to be asleep right now. Or I could have went to the gym this morning. I felt pretty good. And I was going to do a show Sunday morning when I go home, which I still do. Oh, by the way, rained last night. Halloween, crazy wind, and rain. Not a lot of, like, sometimes it'd be like rain like crazy. Then it would stop, but the wind is still going right now. I don't know if you can hear it in the caravan. Very quiet, smooth ride. Although just right before I went on the air, my check engine light came on, which really bothers me. But whatever. I hope it goes off. I don't know. The low tire light has been on almost since Orlando, but the check engine light came on, so hopefully it won't start to blink. I know if it starts to blink, I got a problem. But yeah, crazy weather. But right now, blue sky. Well, it's clear sky. I wouldn't say it's blue, because it's 7 something in the morning, so it's 7:18. So it's like kind of like light blue, like white blue. Weird, right? It's like not blue. It's not even sky blue. Or is that my windshield? Maybe it's the caravan windshield. No, it's kind of a weird, very light blue. Dave, that's the color of sky. Oh, okay. For some reason, it doesn't seem like normal sky. It seems lighter. Well, the sun is rising in the east, and I'm headed south, so it's to my left. Anyway, all right, so I covered Hal. Thank you, Hal, very much for letting me use your song. I played the whole thing. We were talking about that. He gave me several versions. A very short version, a middle version, and then the full version. And I said, you know what? Let's just play the full version. I've never played music on the show. Not that I can remember. Have I played music on the show? I don't think I ever have. That might be it. That may be the first time. In a bonus episode, I played music on the show. Played the whole clip, like 4 minutes long. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to comment here in the Spreaker box. If you're not listening on Spreaker, some of you are listening on Spotify and many others, Apple Podcasts, and you're all over the place with the different ways you listen. And I got to make a copy of the list of all the platforms I'm on, because I have some numbers, and I am spreading around the world, which is nice. And the numbers seem to be growing, but I sometimes have a hard time really understanding what the numbers are saying. But you also could tweet me at Dumb with Dave. You can tweet me at Dumb with Dave, and I'm sure by the time, not the time you listen to this, maybe, check the show notes. Maybe I'll have Pauline in the Philippines, my assistant, doing a great job, by the way. God, assistant. I got to find them a better word. Co-creator? Ooh, no, co-creative? Because she is creative and she's organized. I don't know. Assistant. I don't like that. it's like it seems a little demeaning. I don't like that. Well, she does assist me. She assists me greatly, by the way. Maybe that's not bad. Maybe it's me. I'm projecting. All right, whatever. But anyway, she's doing a great job, and I'll have her put it in the show notes. But she's already listening to it, so she'll know Hal Aaron in the show notes, and Hal and Philly going for a drive. And I don't know if you could purchase that song on iTunes or whatever, but it's a great song. All right, so there you go. And I was talking about something else. Oh yeah, leaving a comment. You could tweet me at Dumb with Dave. You could tweet me at Dumb with Dave, or you can email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Or you could be like my buddy Mark, not my buddy Mark, the one you've been hearing about for 3 years. Mark, I'm not going to say his last name, just married Mark, Trucker Mark. It's not a trucking show, but just got married Mark, we'll call him. He actually listen to this. He listens to my show on YouTube. I didn't think anybody does that. He showed me on his phone. I don't know why my voice cracked just now, but maybe because I got excited. He actually showed me his phone. Oh, yeah, I listened to your show on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. You're the one. That's great. But he doesn't leave any comments and he doesn't share. So he says he'll try to get on that. Thank you, Mark. It was nice to talk to him this morning. He said some nice things about going for a ride with me, I guess. And some other things that were very nice. I don't really, listen, just to let everybody know. I barely pay attention to anybody when they talk to me. I know that's horrible to say out loud, right? You know, when people start talking about, the only thing I want to hear is, I'm going to sign you to $1 million deal. Otherwise, I don't hear nothing. People talk, wah, 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 wah. My ears will perk up when I hear, but I want to sign you. And I want to sign you to $1 million deal. Oh, well, now I'm all ears. No, I do pay attention. I was just kidding. But Mark was saying a whole bunch of stuff. But, when it comes to compliments, I'm like, oh, thank you. I can't. I just can't get not bogged down in compliments. It's not like I get them a lot. I'm just saying it's just weird for me. My mother drilled into me what a piece of crap I am all my life. My father as well. So when I hear a compliment, it's like, oh, that's I'm definitely more used to people telling me how inferior I am and all that other bad stuff. So, and not that I would stand there and listen to that with a smile. I'm just saying, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know, thank you. You're better than me. Yeah, you're right. That's always my response. You're smarter than me. You're better than me. Great. Yeah, you should do your own podcast. But when I get a compliment, it's like, oh, please stop. I really want to go. But anyway, it was nice to talk to Mark. And thank you, Mark, for listening to the show. It's really great that you do that. And definitely try to click like right there on the YouTube. It's funny because he shows me the phone. And I'm like, oh yeah, can I do that for you? I can just do that right now. Sit there, just like, subscribe, share, like, share. I do that sometimes with certain people's podcasts. I'll just, I'll go crazy. Comment, all that stuff. Not that I'm insincere about it. I'm sincere about it. I just, it's my pragmatism. It's like as I said to Hal in Philly the other day, and I think he kind of took offense to something I said because we were talking about his audiograms. And I said, oh yeah, you could bang those out. And he goes, I don't bang out audiograms. I think he was a little offended by that. I'll have to check with Hal on that. I think we might have already had our first fight. But, no, it wasn't a fight. But I hope he wasn't offended because he created 2 audiograms for me. And they're good. They're very, very good. Very, very good.
Dave.
Yes,
dear,
I know,
this is
Emma.
This is not the show you wanted to do.
I know, it's getting ridiculous, isn't it? Emma, you chime in kind of like Harry does. You're like the chime in family. Harry likes to just chime in. Hey, Dave, we're going to the bakery. Dave. Harry, I got it. Emma, thank you. Although when Emma talks, it doesn't bother me as much. I could just listen. I could just listen to. Maybe I'll hire her because the AIs have lost. I think they've all lost their jobs because I think Awesome Insanity Surfers has come to an end for now, and I think they're all sort of dormant. I don't know, but Linda has made some mention on her show that they stop by. They all stop by and help me out from time to time, but I haven't hired any of them. So I'm going to look into that, Linda. We should definitely tweet me, and if I can hire any of them, I will. I got to know. I like Emma, of course, if she's interested. I like to have Emma on board. I like to have Harry on board. Dave, I like Dave, and I guess I like Hazel. I guess I like the family. I'm into that family. Definitely not Grant. Definitely not Grant. I'm not interested in Grant. He's a bad seed. Don't like Grant. All right, let's do the show I wanted to do. Oh, the show's over. What a bonus show. All right, let me see if I can do it without blowing this up. Let me see if I can do this. You know how it is. I get all nervous when I start changing screens. I hope I have it all set up. Oh, here we go. Okay. The previous episode was called Pragmatic Podcasting. I really didn't know what to call it. It was really like one of the rare times I was truly stumped. I listened to the show before I published it like 5-6 times. Not because I love the sound of my voice, which, by the way, not a bad voice. It's just that I really needed to get this essence of my show. And I really couldn't figure it out. There were moments where I went, oh, yeah, that's what I'll call it. And then I don't publish it and I don't title it. And then, 10 minutes later I go, what the hell was I can't remember the title now. So anyway, but I called it Pragmatic Podcasting, and I wrote a little show note called, in this episode, I'm sure Pauline will change it. In this episode, on his way to work, Dave speaks from his heart and off the top of his head. Yes, I did. But we got a lot of comments. Oh, did she? Okay. All right. I left the first comment. Thank you so much for listening. Please feel good about politely commenting and sharing the show with your world. Yes, please. And by the way, guys, please feel free about sharing the show with your world. Even though you think your world is small, the internet doesn't know that you have a small world. It just knows that Dumbing It Down with Dave was posted somewhere. I can't explain it to you. I'm not even sure that's exactly true. I'm just taking let's err on the side of caution. All right? Just post it. Just share it. And the internet will go, oh, well, I recognize this. Dumbing It Down with Dave. All right. Linda Irwin wrote, hello, Dave and David. And then Linda wrote, good thing Zartran reminded us I needed a drink break too. Oh, look at it. Yeah, Zartran did the drink break thing. Linda wrote, if anyone deplatforms you, I will come after them with a squeaky bat and my Nerf ball gun. Ooh. Ah. I'd love to see that. We got to do a video of that, Linda. We got to get you in one of those, tiger skin tank top, with your sleeveless arm, whatever, and get you with a Nerf ball gun and your squeaky ball bat. That'd be hilarious. And then Linda Irwin wrote, Brent Butt. Does he have a brother named Harry? Harry Butt, get it? Yeah, I was talking about Corner Gas. It's a show from Canada I've been watching, and season 1 I'm done with. It's called Corner Gas, and I like it. All right, is that this show? Oh, no, we still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds. All right, I'm afraid to go to the next show. All right, I don't want to go over. That's my thing. I don't want to go over. Well, let's go. 165. If we all do a little, then we all do a lot. If we all do a little, then we all do a lot. And let me see what it says here. In episode number 165 of Dumbing It Down with Dave, Dave gets angry, disappointed, and tired of working with the lazy, stupid, and uninspired. Yes, I was furious that morning. I was definitely furious. But it was a very creative and enjoyable furious. Not exactly, barbaric and demonic, or dangerous, angry, whatever. Let me see. Patrick Mason wrote a couple things here. Because I said about getting off at noon, and he goes, noon? He wrote, you really are a milker. Let's see. Patrick Mason wrote, rabbit hole time. It's rabbit hole time. Laugh my ass off. LMAO, he wrote. Patrick Mason also wrote, before you get to it, I think I can guess. You had to get all the trailers out of the compound. Yes, I did. So Patrick Mason was correct. Patrick Mason wrote, the compound has become a storage yard. Yes, that is correct. Patrick Mason also wrote, the compound is full and I'm not taking it anymore. That's his country song that he wants me to sing. It's very funny. That compound is full and I'm not going to take it anymore. And then he wrote, you answered your own question. It's Saturday night and we don't want to be there either. Yeah, I know. And then Patrick Mason wrote, I had to go to Panera early for fresh bagels. That's why people leave. They leave early. They don't stick around and clean up the yard. They just leave. So he had to leave to get Panera bagels. Patrick Mason wrote, let's start a boycott of Facebook. He also wrote, glad you didn't delete the show. You were on fire today. And then, let me see, what else did he wrote? He talked about me yelling at that guy at that distribution center. He said if you yelled at him, you would have hurt. You would fill out hurt feelings form. That's true. And then he wrote, today officially was a trucking show. And then Linda wrote, hello, Dave, Zartran, and Venus. And, Zartran is from the Arcturus system. And she also wrote, Harry thinks you are the best, whether it is a trucking show or not. I bet you I'm over. Damn it, I'm over. That is terrible. I did not do a good job of that. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, good rats, Godspeed, and great skills. Take care.